Welcome back to Robert Loyale, where I show you the ins and outs of graphic design as it pertains to t-shirts, logos, and GIF animations. And today for T-Shirt Tuesday, I'm going to show you guys how to take simple shapes and create really good graphic designs. Now there's a lot to be said about a shirt graphic that is hand-drawn. That pretty much makes you an illustrator. But what about those who can't draw? Those who have to rely on shapes to create? Well, this little exercise right here will help you become a little bit more creative with shapes, and you'll be able to create awesome, consistent designs for your t-shirt line. So if you're trying to learn something new, then go ahead and give me a thumbs up because you're gonna learn that today. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and make some magic. Okay, so this is a really easy concept to do in Illustrator. All we need to do is just make our shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up my rectangle tool. I'm gonna turn that into a polygonal tool so I can actually start making my triangle. And then I just need to click somewhere, so I'm just gonna click right here. I'm gonna give this 3 sides, and I'm just gonna hit OK. And it pretty much just made what I wanted to make. So it made a triangle, which is pretty cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of drag that out, holding Shift and Option. So now that I got that out there, I can just kind of move this down and stuff like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of align it up real quick. So just make sure that it kind of fits inside the center. We'll know when it's in the center because it'll say center right there, right? And I want to go ahead and turn off the background, but I just want to go ahead and turn the strokes up. So clicking on the strokes, I'm just going to go up here at the top and kind of bring the weight to maybe like 10. So now that we got our triangle made and all this, what I want to do now is just go into Object, Path, and then outline the strokes. And if you guys are pretty much familiar with my work, then you know that turning my strokes into outlines pretty much just helped me with my scaling up and down. So the trick here now is just to click on this, go into Edit and Copy, all right? Or you can just hit Command C. Now what we want to do is go ahead and hit Command F, which is just going to paste that to the front. And then we can just go ahead and scale this down some. And that looks pretty good right there. Now, the way that we can check to make sure that these sides are pretty much the same width apart is just to go ahead and on layer 2, just open up a circle. Now I'm going to put this down here like right here at the edge of this, and I'm just going to make a circle out. Now if this circle fits all sides, then we got good alignment. And as I can see right here, this doesn't. So I'm just going to move in on this circle real quick and just kind of push this off to the side right here. And I'm going to bring this circle in just a little bit over some. And then with this one, I'll just kind of scale it out just a little bit. We're just a tad off just a little bit. Now I want to take this one, hit Command C, and then hit Command F again. And then I want to go ahead and scale this one down just a tad bit. And then I want to do that one more time. So hit Command C and then hit Command F. And just kind of scale this down again. And that looks pretty good. So now what I want to do is go in at the middle of this and add another stroke. And that looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and highlight all of this. And then just go ahead and go into Path and outline the strokes again. And then we get something like this. And that was pretty simple, right? And this is just the base of what we're trying to do. So I'm going to be able to copy this and put this on other things. But right now I want to finish out this one design. And I'm going to move on to something different. So what I want to do is just go ahead and put at all angles on all these sides or whatnot, and then we can move on to our next design. So what I want to do is just go ahead and take the line tool and just start from here at the bottom and then bring that up here to the top. It will snap and then let that go. Now with the type tool, I can just go ahead and hover over this. Now as you can see, it turns from a regular type box into like this little squiggly. That means it's going to type on the path. So I'm just going to click here and then I'll be able to write out what I need to write out. And that looks pretty good right there. So what I want to do now is just take that line tool again and just go across this like so and just repeat the process. Now in this instance, I kind of typed that a little high and I did that on purpose so I can show you how to fix this. So in this instance, what we want to do is just hover over this line right here, which is the one in the middle. So we have this one right here, we have this one right here, and we got this long one. What we want to do is hover over this long one, click on it and hold, and just bring it down to where it's proportionally even with the other one. Now we could take this box right here and drag that out, and we're going to get the rest of that word. So now that looks cool right there, but it's going inside of the actual design. What we want to do is fix that. So what we want to do is take this and just kind of flip it over, and that's going to get us into the insides. We can actually just drag this down just a little bit more like this, and that looks good. So now all we need to do is just put this one at the bottom, and that'll be angles. And we can put this dead center right here like this. And just to make sure that this is properly centered, all we need to do is just hold Command R, bring up our rulers, make a layer for your rulers actually. So I'm gonna make layer 4, and I'm just gonna bring this into the center of the design. Now, of course, angles is a 6-letter word. All I need to do is make sure that the 6 letters are pretty much spaced in between this line. So I can just do something like this and let that go. However, I don't feel happy because this kerning is not right. So I'm gonna hold Alt-Option and just kind of fix that out. And that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna just do one more design element real quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the line tool and just kind of go across it like this. Now inside of this stroke, I'm just gonna go ahead and make the cap like rounded so it looks a little round. And then I'm gonna give it a corner of a round joint as well. And that looks pretty good. So what I'm gonna do now is just put all of this stuff into one. And I'm just gonna go ahead and collect this into one layer, and I'll be able to turn all that off and on. So I can have this original design, and then I have this one right here, which is at all angles. I'm just gonna go ahead and bring in my new artboard, and we'll call this artboard 2. And on this second artboard, I'm just gonna go ahead and copy the original triangle, and I just wanna paste it inside of here. So we got the original, we got the kind of like buffed up one just a little bit. I just want to do one more real quick. And this one's going to be more of like an abstract one. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste that in. I just want to make sure that it's lined up like correctly. And then we'll just go ahead and kind of move that in over here on this third artboard. Now what I want to do with this third one here is just kind of mess with it just a little bit with the shape builder tool. So this is the reason why I turned all those strokes into outlines, because it makes it easier for me to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and click somewhere with a 3-sided polygon and bring that up. And that's when I align those in places where I'm just gonna go ahead and knock out. So I think this looks good right here. I might knock this line out right here. I'm definitely gonna knock out this side. I want to take this in just a little bit, knock out this side here. I want to knock out this side, and then actually I'm gonna go in with a rectangle and kind of knock out the inside of this. And that looks pretty good now. So what I want to do is just go ahead and highlight all of these, and then with the shape builder tool, just go ahead and delete out the stuff that I don't need. So holding down Alt-Option, I'm just gonna click and drag around to get those shapes out. And that looks pretty good. So we got a third design. So we got the original design right here, we got a secondary, and then we got a third design. So what I want to do now is just build one more, and this will be the absolute last one. And this is pretty much simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this triangle over here, and we're going to drop this into a new layer, which we're going to call layer 10, and that's going to be over here on the artboard number 4. And this is real simple to do. All we need to do is go inside of this and just make another triangle. And I'm just going to go ahead and scale this out like this. I'm going to drop this down just a little bit more and just keep scaling it up like this. Kind of get it in there like this. I think that looks good right there. Now I'm going to bring in the type area tool. So I want to type inside of this area, and I'm just going to click, and this is what we get. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring this down to like maybe 72 points, and I think 72 points might work out, but I'm gonna go ahead and center line all of this, and I'm gonna bring this, I might bring this up to like 100. Let me see what 100 looks like. Yeah, I think 100 looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start typing out at all angles. Now what I want to do is just go ahead and right click and turn this into an outline, and then I'm just going to go ahead and continue to scale these out. So this might look good maybe like right here, and I can call that a good design for me. And with that final tweak, we'll finish this design. So this design doesn't just show you how to take shapes and create multiple different designs off of it. This actually shows you how to take small campaign headlines and expand on it in maybe 3 or 4 designs, which is what I feel like a good designer should be able to do. Because in the real world, one design doesn't sell millions. Multiples is what's going to get you noticed. And that's not just with your t-shirt shop, that's with everything. Your portfolio, YouTube, anything that you're doing, you want to have more than one. And if that's something that you just learned today, but you're not subscribed, then go ahead and subscribe. I do this all the time. And this time I want to know a little bit about you. Which one did you like the most? And just leave that in the comment section below. But with that being said, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. So stay amazing, stay creative, but above all else, stay awesome.